Tenun Pahang Diraja, weaving the fabric of our times. Hundreds of years ago, as trade flourished throughout Asia via the Silk Route and spread across the Malay archipelago, with origins from India and China, the tradition of silk weaving found its way into Malay homes. From the Malay kingdom of Malacca, Siam, from the Cham people of South Vietnam, and especially the Bugis tribes of the Celebes, each culture has lent an indelible influence on the Pahang Tenun we recognize today. Silk weaving was adapted by households as the most venerated of skills, with each home producing motifs and design unique to their taste and sense of aesthetics. Thus, much like the kilts of the Scots, Tenun designs can be unique to a family, village or state. The traditional methods of making Tenun require patience, devotion and commitment.
Tenun Pahang ni, kain tenun, pengalaman atau kemahiran bertenun.
The talent and expertise needed to produce the Pahang Tenun cloth came from the Bugis peoples of the Celebes Islands.
Kemahiran bertenun di Pahang.
From what my research has shown, the Tenun skills that we can find here in Pahang was also something that was picked up by traders in Sumatra.
Ada usaha masyarakat.
Throughout history, society itself has tried to ensure the longevity of the Tenun tradition by incorporating the skills in social traditions such as marriages. For example, as part of a bride's wedding gifts and to start her married life, her mother-in-law will give the bride the basic elements needed to make the Tenun cloth. This was a practice instituted in Pahang and in fact all the East Coast states. This gift was designed with the hope that the Tenun tradition would continue to thrive.
Renowned Tenun master Kadir began honing her skills at the tender age of 12.
Kau memang itu terlibat dengan tenun ni.
I've been involved with tenun making from a very young age because my entire family is descended from many generations of tenun weavers. I am actually the 11th generation of my family still weaving the tenun cloth, which began with my ancestor Tok Krang Aji, the man who started it all. My inspiration behind any one of my designs comes from everywhere. I am not an educated person. The education that I have received on the subject of Tenun has really been from anecdotes passed down through the generations of my family. So whenever government agencies such as Kraftangan, the museum, or PKMP invite me to courses and seminars, I leap at the chance. For it is on these travels that I get inspired. I am always looking for new things to inspire me, and they can be things such as the bark of a tree, the shape of a roof, or even the outline of a wall. It's amazing that all these things can be inspirational. Finally, I always pray to God and beg Him to guide my work because designs need to evolve, and people always want something new or different. So I work very hard to innovate my work, even if my hands turn blue because of all the experiments. But I enjoy it all. Azman Zakaria is another master and believes that demand for the cloth will soon outstrip supply. Such is its growing popularity.
Usually we can produce about 80 pieces of cloth in a month. And those 80 pieces need to be divided between cloth for men and cloth for women. One piece of cloth for a women's suit can take up to a week or more to make, because there are so many stages to making the cloth. There are in fact 8 in total, from dyeing the thread to polishing the final cloth. In order to increase our productivity and the number of products we can put out, we really need to have more weavers involved. Sure, you can use machines, but for traditional cloth and to retain that special Pahang Tenun identity, you still need to loom the cloth by hand. The only way to resolve this, since now demand is higher than what we can produce, we really need more weavers who are properly trained.
Puan Fatima, who is new to the Tenun community, reveals her passion for the craft.
My involvement with Tenun stems from the fact that my grandmother had this collection of fabrics from Pahang. I saw her pictures, wearing them, and my interest wasn't really peaked at that time in trying to get myself connected again to this heritage of ours. I think most of the local weavers have a problem with coming up with new weaving designs. Maybe they're not exposed to other usage for the fabric. If we can introduce that to them using the Kain Tenun not just for fashion wear but for household goods, and I think it will be a good thing.
This sentiment of increasing output to meet the current demands and to deal with the issues facing the industry is what prompted Her Royal Highness, the Crown Princess of Pahang, to take on the role as patron.
Pekan, the little royal town, that's where this Tenun Pahang is. It is not found anywhere else. This is very exclusive because all these ladies, the old ladies that were weaving, they were not giving their secrets, how the designs, the secrets, how it was done. They were not going to pass it to anybody. Those days, they were just weaving for the royal family. They were just weaving for the Sultan. Every other month, I try to do my tenun circuit. I go from Rompen, Chini, Pekan, Termai, Kampung So, everywhere, and I sit with them. We sit on the floor. We sit everywhere. We study the design. We do this. We do that. I see myself as the weaver going around, passing this little secret from one to the other. The other one did it this way. The other one is doing it this way. So why don't you do it that way as well? It's just like the tartan in Scotland. This is an art to be reborn is something Malaysia would be proud of.
Today, Tenun has the potential to ignite the world of design. From home furnishing to designer gowns, the Tenun cloth is not to be underestimated.
When I discovered Tenun Pahang, I started comparing it with the Terengganu Tenun and the Kelantan Tenun. The fabric itself, the silk that comes out, it's a different texture as well.
Tenun is much more wider, broader way for us to use it. So I think Tenun is more choice for many. If you ask the younger people, I think they prefer Tenun than anything else. I always look at some rock star going to wear these fabrics. How do I work with the rock star? So I always look at that way. I will add feathers to it. I put some metal to it to make it more chic. You can make one or two and makes it really beautiful, and promote it really well and follow the current trend the way you promote it. But then when people likes it, the world likes it, they're going to order from you 5,000 pieces. Is the manufacturer, is the people ready for it? Because designer creates, but we need the manufacturer, the factory to get it rolled in this short time. To me, Tenun is fabulous color, fabulous technique. The history is great, you see. It's really rich. Definitely as a designer, I really love to work with that.
More pliable than shantung silk, and more comfortable to the touch than Thai silk. With support and passion for the craft, Tenun can be taken beyond our shores and create its own silken route to the world.
It's very becoming material, and then the fact that it's in silk makes it valuable, and also that it's now woven into very interesting colors and patterns and so on. It should be popularized.
Jadi kontak dalam Craft Tangan Malaysia, Golongan Pahang.
Craft Tangan here in Pahang hopes to be able to produce more Tenun weavers in the state through various efforts that we are making in order to increase productivity. Of course, there are various kinds of demands from the lower to the higher end of the market spectrum. We are hoping that through the introduction of machines, we can mass produce the looms to meet the demands of one market, whilst the training of more Tenun weavers through the establishment of a training school will allow more high-end products to be sold. Thus, Craft Tangan is investing heavily in machines and training in order to support the industry. We've also managed to send some Tenun products via our headquarters to Harrods in London. I am happy to report that so far, the cloth that we have picked up from Kampung Soy and Pulau Keladi have received a good response in sales at Harrods.
Our main goal at the moment is to achieve our ambition is to have this Tenun Pahang Diraja training center. Until we have this training center, I cannot see the future of Tenun Pahang being internationally or worldly recognized. Together, we want to incorporate new design and old design using new different fibers as well. The best has yet to come.